Hey everybody, this is Brothers Forge Gaming, I'm Easy, and welcome to another episode of Easy's Room. Today we're going to go over my Atari 2600 collection. Alright, let's get started. I am very excited today to jump in to the Atari 2600. It came out in the very late 70s. It might have been around, but my family really didn't have one. I have some older brothers, they probably played and stuff, but I never really played a lot of Atari as a kid. I was more of that straight NES guy. So a lot of this stuff was new to me. You've seen it, you've heard it, you've probably played it a little bit, but until you truly get your hands on one, you just don't get that experience. So I did pick up this set, which was awesome. It was kind of something we actually had to piece together. We got the Atari. I think I did a pickup video or something. It was on the first PRGE that we went to. I ended up picking up the Atari system loose. I don't even think it had games, but it has all the little controllers, the joysticks, and the little paddles. What's your cool? It's got the different controllers. It's kind of fun. These are used for like driving games, so it's kind of like having a little steering wheel, or your Pong style games, and of course the joystick is just super classic. It was actually really cool. The good people down there at Bog Bean, one of the local stores that we frequently visit here, in town, had the whole box. It's got some of the insides, but not everything. But yeah, it was an actual box for the Heavy Sixer, which is the model that I have. So that was pretty cool to kind of complete that and get that all working. And yes, so you have to buy a connector. It is a if you do not have an Atari, it has this stupid RF cord, so you have to get a adapter thing. You can screw it right onto your coaxial and play that way. So what works with that too is actually we can bring game footage. So we will be bringing all the game footage. That'll be kind of cool as well. Like I said, the Heavy Sixer's fun. I finally started to get to play. I mean, it was kind of amazing. It was kind of funny trying to get it to work. There's some weird settings. It works for color and black and white TVs. It has some sort of switch inside that's messes with stuff. That was my problem when I first hooked it up. But yeah, ultimately got it to work. It worked great. Actually had some fun playing the games. We'll get to those here shortly. For my collection right now, I do have it's about 57, almost 60 games, I think. A few in box and stuff. It's going to be pretty fun. We're definitely going to show some gameplay and some games that I want to dive into in the future towards the end of the video. But we also have one more cool piece, since we're talking about some of the just controllers and hardware, is technically, I'll have to show some close-ups and maybe even some footage. It's the Atari trackball, which is cool. I wish I was able just to have it like this, but somebody, I found this at Goodwill, had spliced it into an NES Advantage, so it plays as like the second controller. So, I don't know, it's kind of cool because it does give you an NES Advantage that's kind of messed up, and it does give you a trackball. And I have used this. Maybe I'll show, like I said, some footage. I've played Pac-Man with it. It's alright, it's more of a kind of for the look. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, see, I can switch it back and forth. But yeah, it's more for pretty much the look. I kind of keep it with the Atari stuff because it's an Atari brand and looks pretty cool. So I did just want to show that off. As I throw it around, probably destroy it. I just wanted to show that off a little bit, and this is basically, like I said, we got a close-up, a couple pictures of just the model itself and some of the hardware. The box, I love this box. All the old systems, they come in these, man, the boxes are, I guess the new age system boxes are pretty big too, but they just seem so crazy and big and awesome. So without wasting any more time, let's go jump into the game section of this video. Alright, as we move over to our game section of the Atari 2600, I brought up that we roughly had about 60 games, so a good little stack to choose from, a lot of the classics. There's so many staples on this thing, Frogger, there's the original Mario Bros, there's Donkey Kong's, Pac-Man, all that stuff you can think of. Space Invaders, lots of cool stuff. So it really does take you back. It is just some of that first, gritty, awesome, what is it, like 4-bit or something, if that, style of just kind of home entertainment. Like I said, most of my stuff here is loose. Atari games aren't bringing in some sort of epic value, so there's not a whole lot of super... I mean, there are games that are valuable, but, a lot of all the common games, a lot of all the good games are really not all that expensive. So it's pretty easy to go out and find them for anywhere from $5 to $20. So, well, actually, one of the cool ones I will have to show off, though, is Mr. Deuce Castle, which is something that I found locally here at Bogbean again, which it's probably the coolest game. I mean, not necessarily my favorite game on the system, but it's one of the cooler games that I have found and have. The other thing that another local store, Pluto's, had was some sealed inbox Atari games. So that was kind of neat. One of them, we have Akari Warriors, which is cool, Venture, which is supposed to be good. I actually have a loose copy, so I can actually play it. And which was the cool one was Gravatar, because if you've seen videos, I do have an Atari dedicated Gravatar arcade cabinet, so it was kind of cool to have the in-box actual game that went with it. Like I said, jumping into this, some games really stuck out as classic. Frogger was an instant hit. Pac-Man wasn't exactly the Pac-Man that you grow to love. Definitely, I think the NES and some of those did better. But ultimately, there was a whole... I mean, there was a... I thought I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. So it was fun diving in and kind of seeing, just the difference in some of these games. And they were fun. Some of them were meant to be played 2 players. I had fun playing, there was a football game, real sport football I played. I enjoyed that. Raiders of the Lost Ark. I even played E.T., which is supposed to be a real bad game, and it was really bad. I feel like it totally hit the mark there. Also, I picked up some games recently that sounded really cool. I think I got Pole Position, the original, and a couple other good games. So, even if games don't make it into these videos, there's games that are on basically like a wish list, and they will be played. But we are going to end this video with some fun gameplay of some of the games I really plan to dive into. Alright, as we wind away from the games and before we load up these gameplays of some of the games I want to get into, I will have to show one more little piece, and that is a modern Atari game here from Mr. John Hancock, Game Panic Immortal Edition. So I thought that was pretty cool. I saw him at one of them, and I've seen him at both of the retro games expos that I went to, but had him sign some stuff, and he had an extra copy of this, so I ended up picking it up, and I thought that was really fun. We'll have to get like I said, a close-up and maybe even some gameplay. It looks like a fun little game and a playable game, so I definitely want to play through it someday soon. And that is another actually 58 games, so that solidifies, that ends the game portion for real now. And let's dive in to some authentic Atari gameplay via Roxio. All right, and that about does it here for our Atari 2600 video. Man, that was some killer gameplay. It's so epic to see that authentic Atari stuff just brought to life. And today you don't get that all the time. So I was really glad I was able to kind of show off that. I'm glad I got to go over all of my collection with you, show all the neat little pieces. Kind of told you what I thought. We'll see how this goes. The Atari is going to be an ever-growing collection, so I know that I will be getting some more pieces soon, but I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. So I hope you guys are enjoying these episodes of Easy's Room. We're going to keep going around, and we're going to hit all the different sections. It's going to be a lot of fun, so keep coming back, find out what I have, find out what I get, and we'll see you next time on Brothers Forge Gaming. As always, take it easy.
Brothers Forge Gaming.